Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillahirabbil alamin. Allahumma salli wa sallim ala sayyidina Muhammadin wa ala alihi wa sahbihi fi kulli lahadatin abada. Arda ni'amillahi wa ifdalihi. Allahumma atina min ladunka rahmah wa 'allimna min ladunka ilma. Subhanaka la ilma lana illa ma 'allamtana innaka antal alimul hakim. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. نوينا التعلم والتعليم وتذكر والتذكير والنفع والانتفاع والفرد والاستفادة والحث على التمسك بكتاب الله وسنة رسوله صلى الله عليه وآله وصحبه وسلم ودعاء إلى الهدى ودلالة على الخير ابتغاء وجه الله ومرضاته وقربه وثوابه سبحانه وتعالى مع لطف وعافية برحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين. اللهم إنا نسألك علما لدني مشرب صافي الهاني يا وهاب يا غني. اللهم إنا نسألك علما لدني مشرب صافي الهاني يا وهاب يا غني. اللهم إنا نسألك علما لدني مشرب صافي الهاني يا وهاب يا غني. وصلى الله على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم والحمد لله رب العالمين. الفاتحة. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين. آمين 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 يا رب العالمين. الحمد لله الحمد لله الحمد لله. We're continuing with our class right, on أجل السباق إلى مكارم الأخلاق, which is the quest for virtuous character. Messy ya I'm like I need to control my no control my English. Okay. Huh? Huh? What have? Yeah, non-Malay speakers. Yeah. Yeah, inshallah, inshallah. Today's we just came from Hababa Fatima bin Sumit her class on the secrets around Masjid Nabawi. It's so good, mashallah. And tomorrow's session is she will bring us into the house of Sayyidah Fatimah Zahra and all the parts of the house of Sayyidah Fatimah Zahra and also to the chamber of Rasulullah Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam and all different parts of his chamber. Right. So they say actually who wants to come tomorrow and come tomorrow. They're selling tickets specifically for Sunday. For Sunday. So you all come. Like, it was so cool today. She told us so many parts of the masjid. Was just within the masjid itself. Belum go outside of Medina. So it's just masjid itself, you know. So, oh, mashallah. So much information about the different pillars, about and then you get very clear lah. You know what are the different parts of the masjid because usually you don't really know exactly. And then you go there, you go to the Rauda, you're not so sure, this is the Rauda, this is the Rauda, what's the Rauda, which one is the Rauda? And then what is the significance of praying from here to here, and then the different pillars, then the original mihrab that was towards Aqsa when it was switched to, then after it was switched to towards Kaaba. So the original mihrab actually is very accessible because on the other side of the masjid, because it was originally towards the Masjid Aqsa, so it's actually on the other end. Not a big masjid, but the original masjid, right? So actually, you can easily go there and pray 2 rakats to take barakah from the original mihrab of Rasulullah SAW that he prayed. Uh, uh, and then where exactly Ahlul Sufa is. People think that the elevated area is Ahlul Sufa is not. There's an elevated area that is near the Rauda kan. That's not Ahlul Sufa punya area. Salah. Huh? What? It's not. It's a ladder. What bench? At the mihrab, right? There's a high, tall, metallic thing. You didn't come for the full session. No, merepek. No, it's not. No, it's not. The Ahlul Sufa area is completely not marked. It's completely not marked, and it's a huge area because 80 to 100 companions were Ahlul Sufa, right? So the area is you know There is the Muwajjah, and then is the grades and the systems and everything over. It is. It's going to be which is like
I need to sit there. Sorry, yeah. Yes, there people cannot hear you.
Fine. What's up that?
Never mind, just continue.
It's useless.
Yeah.
Useless.
Yeah.
Okay.
The Twitter is that.
That's not
Yeah,
good.
I say you're getting your voice from me.
Okay, those who are online, we are in Singapore. I will tell you all to sign up for the secrets of the Prophet's Mosque. Right, that's happening at Masjid Al-Marasal Unit. Today was the first session, and tomorrow second session should enter into the chambers of Rasulullah Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. Right, and the house was another one. The house, yes, mashallah. It's so nice to hear, mashallah. But yeah, like I was saying to them, like I'm sure the elderly would really appreciate to know all these things. Best, right? So to actually have a Malay translation for the elderly. Your mother will love it,
Yeah,
right?
my mother will love
She
it.
will love it, to hear, all the secrets and everything and all that. Right? And I was saying all the Ahlul Sufa. Like it's actually, if you know the open area, like in the masjid, now in the masjid there is an open area, there's no ceiling. It's an open air area right in the center. It's right in front of the Rauda. Kan?
Yeah.
And you look up to the name of Sahara. Kan? You turn towards the name that is Hassan, there is Osman and Abu Bakr. Okay. Between the name Hassan, Osman, Abu Bakr, that is where Ahlul Sufa is. There. It's not marked nothing, but the entire area is Ahlul Sufa area. The raised platform that people always think is Ahlul Sufa area, it was actually an announcement place for the Ottomans. So it's like the Ottomans who sent someone there to do public announcements. It has nothing to do with nothing. It happened during the Ottoman period. They built the area for public announcements, and it was also the place whereby there was this what's it called? The Dikatul al-Rawat, right?
Yes,
الروايات.
Okay,
The race platform is called Dikatul al-Rawayat, right? Which basically means Dika is a race platform, right? Rawayat and al-Rawayat. Al-Aghawat. The Aghawats were Africans that would send their children, to Masjid Nabawi, right? And just place in the service of the so these people, so these people actually sit there, and their job was they were just dedicated their lives to the service of the masjid. And they were very gentle people. They were very soft speaker people. They were always doing a lot of salawats and Quran and everything, but they were the servants of the masjid, staying in the masjid. Mashallah. And they existed. So Fatima was saying they existed for recent history. She met some of them. Right, then they went out of, they were extinct lah. No more of them. There's no more of them. But so they would maintain the masjid. There was the place where they were stay lah. That respect for. Mashallah, like very interesting. I mean, very important and interesting information about when you enter, where to sit down, where to pray, where you should, and then the pillar of Sayyidina Aisha, dua there is mustajab. There's a pillar of Sayyidina Aisha. Right, pillar of Sayyidina Aisha is
the pintu.
Yeah. No. So there is this is the mimbar. This is the prayer for Rasulullah Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. Right, you go this way. And we go this way. Right, there is first the pillar of Tawbah, then pillar of Sayyidina Aisha. So what happens? You translate. Okay, you memorize everything. Second one. The pillar of Sayyidina Aisha, and there's a story behind it as well. So that she stood there, but she knew the secrets of that pillar. That only Rasulullah told her, and then she went to tell her nephew, but then her nephew's Sayyidina Abdullah bin Zubair. Then her nephew's friends went to eavesdrop. Okay, here there's the special pillar. Then they saw, then they all went there to dua and mashallah. It was so good lah, mashallah lah. So good. I was like, mashallah. Ustazah said that she did this course, she would conduct it over 8 days to really
go through the secrets of Medina and the masjid and the house of the Sahaba and all the significant places and everything lah. You know, mashallah lah, mashallah. And then but she said now two days she'll just do what she can lah. And then she told me that she's coming to Tarim in Rabiul Awal. So if you Shifaya, you say kan? Shifaya.
Yeah, she's here.
And as far as I mean, she said going Tarim in Rabiul Awal. Then I took a number lah. I said,
Raise hand.
Shifaya. Ustazah Fatimah bin Sumit is coming to Tarim in Rabiul Awal. So I told Ustazah, you come Tarim, I will arrange for you classes, Ustazah. Because she was like, usually she comes, she doesn't know what to do. Because no one really arranges things for her. You know, she just come and she visit her family and everything. Now I said, I have your number. I'm going to arrange for you already for the English speaking audience. I'm going to arrange for you. You can have our 8-day daura. You don't have to go. You can stay here in Tarim because it's her land. You know, her family's there. Ustazah Fatimah bin Sumit, her uncle dari her mother's side is Habib Omar. Just now she told me a story during lunch. Should tell you all now. You want to hear? You all want to have class or you want to hear stories? Stories. And she told us because we had lunch with her. Then she told us very mashallah story lah. So okay, how cerita Aulia, story about Aulia.
Yes.
One of the people here Redha, I don't know how the Imam must have Redha from the Jama'ah. You all okay that I want to read a long surah. You know, you're okay with that, or you want me to go through? I will take from the book. I will learn from the book.
Technically
Right.
cannot pray, Ustazah, they're online.
Redha.
Bismillah again.
Okay, because she was put the laptop on the table.
Can.
So I can see what people type. Okay, because it was during lunchtime lah, she was sharing with us. Well, now you all want to hear all the inside stories. I said, I will do the book. I don't like going to my class and not doing the book. I will do the book still, right? But inshallah, I want to share lah. But anyway, apa Shifaya, Ustazah coming to Tarim in Rabiul Awal. I told her I want to do a dawrah with her already, like for the people in Hadramaut. In Tarim. I probably make an Arab dawrah, open up to the Arabs. Because even the Arabs need to know. A lot of them, they don't know anything about Masjid Nabawi. Most of the people don't know anything about Masjid Nabawi. She said she's written a book, mashallah, Ustazah told me. She has written the book on all about Medina and Masjid Nabawi sama. She showed me her book lah. Inshallah will be printed soon. And then I offered to her that I can translate into English. She said already someone's doing it into Malay. So she wants someone to do it into English. She has done a book already about Mecca as well. Sayyidah Khadijah and the Kaaba and everything. She's done a book on Mecca as well. Someone asked her to do a book on Aqsa, you know, on Masjid Al-Aqsa, and she responded to the person saying that I can't do Al-Aqsa, right? Because I've never been to Aqsa. How I want to do Aqsa, right? And then she said that she had a dream, and in her dream she saw herself at Aqsa. So I cakap, Ustazah Fatimah bin Sumit, she is her uncle on her mother's side, Habib Omar. Right? Her mother is Habib Khadijah. Sister to Habib Omar. Habib Omar is youngest, Habib Omar is youngest. Is the older sister. Her uncle on her father's side is Habib Zain bin Sumit. Big wali, who's in Medina lah. Her uncle on her father's side, Rashid bin Sumit. So she is cousin to Baba Maryam. Cousins Sahabat Maryam, cousins Sahabat Aishun. They're cousins, but through the mother lah. She's not bin Hafiz. She's bin Sumit because mother is bin Hafiz. So anyway, she was saying that she had a dream and she saw Al-Aqsa. She saw Al-Aqsa, you know, in her dream. And she was told the different parts of Al-Aqsa and everything. And then she said, okay, halas, this is a sign. Am I supposed to do this book? You know. So she went to go and do some research. And she's very intellectual, mashallah. She has a degree and everything. Right. So she went to do research on Al-Aqsa and she was learning the different parts of Al-Aqsa to write her book lah. Right? And she found that exactly as what she saw in her dream. It was all in her research. She read when she was going through the book, she found all of these things lah. So she been writing the book on Al-Aqsa also lah. You know, mashallah, love, mashallah lah, you know. Then just now during lunch, she was saying to me that you know, she had this like desire, very, 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 very strong desire. She was in she lives in Jeddah. Like she grew up in Jeddah sama, right? While her roots are Tarimi lah, but she grew up in Jeddah. And she lives in Jeddah. But there was one whereby she felt a strong attraction or desire to go to the kubur of Habib Umar bin Abdurrahman al-Atas. He's the one yang wrote the Maratib al-Atas. Al-Atas, right? Al-Hudaidah. It's Al-Hudaidah. Right, so it's okay. I'll fill it all in the information. I know you all went there one time, everything, right? It's okay. I will tell you all when this is English. So Hudaidah is not very near Tarim. Usually to go to Hudaidah, it's on our way to Daw'an, usually. On the way to Daw'an, they will drop by Hudaidah. They will visit, Umar bin Abdurrahman al-Atas kubur. If you remember, I didn't bring you all there, but Nabila's group there. Hawaba Mariam was with us. She said outside with us, the kubur kan, it was locked. We couldn't enter. She said outside, she was telling us stories outside there. Kan? So anyway, she said that there was one she had strong desire, like to go to Hudaidah and to visit Habib Umar bin Abdurrahman al-Atas. So this was during lunch. The story was during lunch today lah, just now. And then she said that she really wanted to go, right? So finally they all went to Tarim. She said at first, Allahumma salli wa sallim barik alayhi wa ala alihi. No, she went to Tarim and she wanted to go to Hudaidah, right? So the day that she's supposed to go, right, there was some like some form of riot or whatsoever along the road, right, to Hudaidah. There was some problem lah. So the mother was like, no, we're not going to go lah. It's too difficult. There's a lot of danger. There can be danger there as well. Like people with their guns or whatever. This Yemen lah. Right. So the tribes, there's this tribal, there is tribal warfare lah. And there's tribal, strife and whatsoever. Fighting lah. Don't be scared of Yemen, okay? Just don't worry about it. It's not they won't bother you in Tarim lah. Tarim don't worry. Foreigners, they won't bother lah. But they have their things that they do, that they have their own things lah. So they say, okay, never mind, the road is not safe, don't go there, stay here in Tarim. And then she said, well, she was so sad. She was so sad that she couldn't go because she really wanted to go to the maqam. And she felt very strong. She really very strong, longing for the maqam lah, Habib Umar bin Abdurrahman al-Atas. And then so eventually so mother was like, you know what, you're not going to go there. Okay, khalas. Let's go to Darul Zahra for the burda. Because Friday morning there's a burda at Darul Zahra. Right? She was like, no, I don't go lah, no mood already, no. And the mother, no, you just get up, you get your abaya, you're going to go to Darul Zahra and go for the burda. I said, okay, fine. And then she said in her heart, she felt maybe Habib Umar doesn't want her to come to his maqam. Maybe he has rejected her. She felt in her heart like sadness lah, like maybe okay lah, he doesn't want to see me and all that lah. So she went to Darul Zahra, right, for the burda. And then Sister Aisha called her up to give a kalima and everything. Because they're cousins, Sister Aisha and her some cousins, they're all cousins. Right? So she called her up to give kalima and everything. And then she sat down with a group of people lah in front of her. Right? And then she just got to know people lah. She's very friendly. If you meet her, she's very friendly. She'll talk to people, she asks, how are you? Where are you from? All that. She made me imam just now during Zohar. And I couldn't decline. I'm so not used to this. Hababa Mariam would just stand in front and become the imam. Right? It's like me right now pray that should be imam. Yeah. What in the world? She like, no, why? Why me? Why me? And she did that to me just now during Zohar. She pointed at me, Fana imam. I said, and then she was Ismail kalam. That means listen. Okay, dengar cakap. Ismail kalam. That means dengar cakap. Apa? I was imam tadi, and she said Ismail kalam. That means dengar. That means obey me. I have to be imam. Saya bukan imam lah. What I want to say after your teacher says to you, dengar cakap kan? Once your teacher says to you, dengar cakap, listen to what I'm saying to you. Dengar, listen. I straight away you be like, okay, marhaba. I'll be the imam. Even if you like, I don't want to be the imam. Like, inshallah. But so anyway, she said that she went to Darul Zahra, and then she was sitting with the people, and she was asking people where you are from. And so happened she sit in a circle whereby the first one she asked, what's your name, where you're from? Say, to her name, and say, I'm from Hudaidah. And then next person, from Hudaidah. Next person, from Hudaidah. She happened to sit in a group where everybody there was from Hudaidah. And who the town of Habib Abdul Rahman, Habib Omar bin Abdul Rahman al-Attas. Right, Al-Attas. She was like, mashallah, I see Habib Abdul Rahman sent his people, to tell her to calm her down. I don't hate you. Didn't reject you, just ada problem in the street lah. Right? She said, but then around you, all people mudai dah. All around you, mudai dah. And then she said that sometime later, no matter it was later or before that, but I think it was sometime I think it was before that. It's what made her desire to go and visit Umar bin Abdul Rahman. She said that before that, or one of the Hajj seasons, because she lived in Jeddah, right? She bring people. She kind of look after people for Hajj. Bring them for tawaf, bring them for sa'i and everything. So she said that she was handling a group of Yemenis, had come for Hajj. Because she's a Yemeni as well. Handling a group of Yemenis come for Hajj. Help them lah. She has people to bring around. So suddenly they were in the bus, right? And then they all, they stopped. Suddenly, they said open the door, and they said that, and they brought this old hababa, like very old hababa, right? At the door, and then they just stood to her, look after this hababa. She's going for Hajj, right? Look after her. Right? So the Fatima was like, I don't know who this hababa is, where she's from. I don't know anything about her. She seems to be alone. It's this very old hababa. She said, okay, I will look after hababa ni. And the hababa ni pun mulut, Masya Allah, laser. Very, very sharp tongue, hababa. Masya Allah, hababa. She said, okay, I bring hababa lah. I bring hababa around for Hajj lah. Look after hababa lah. And see hababa, she was a hababa, Masya Allah. She actually grew to really love this hababa lah. Because everything pun macam, I look after the hababa. So she was like, so we went, when we were at Mina, right, to hababa. And hababa was very independent. Hababa want to do everything herself, everything now. She's not needy. She's not needy in any way. But she's old lah. And they all told her to look after her, She said at Mina, like, so she was like, okay, we're going to go and throw the stones at the Jamrah at Mina. So the hababa said, okay, I know how to do myself. I know where the Jamrah, I know how to do myself. So, okay, we will go together lah. Right. So she said she wasn't looking at the hababa, what hababa was doing lah. And then after the whole thing, they went back to the tents. And then the hababa was like, yeah, that was so, satisfying. Satisfying. Close to that shaitan. And then hababa was like, I was so satisfying. I took all my stones, I threw it in one go. Tak sah. Fikir. You can't do that. You throw in one go, it's count as one. It's one lontar. You can't take all the stones and throw in one go. You need to throw one at a time, then it counts. Those who had never do Hajj before. Those who do Hajj, you know this. You cannot throw all in one go. You must throw one by one. So she said, I was so angry, Shaitan. I took all this, I threw one go at Shaitan. And then Sister was like, Papa, throw everything together. And I said, yalah, throw Shaitan. Kenakan dia. And then apa, kita kena go back. It's true, tak sah. It's not really. You have to go back and do it again. I gotta pick up. No, lontar only lah. Lontar tak sah lah. Lontar is not valid. Right? So we have to go back and get more pebbles now. And throw it again, because you can't throw in one go. You gotta throw one by one, hababa. You cannot. I was at Hajj, I saw people throwing their shoes. Yeah, so that no, your shoes. Has to be stolen. You can't throw anything else. You throw, you hit people. People get hit by your shoes or by your tingkat or by your whatever. It's a ritual. You're not like, really throwing it at shaitan. It's a ritual. But so she was like, Baba, you can't do that. You need to throw one by one. So okay, never mind. We go and get some more. We get some more pebbles, right? And then we go and throw it at the Jamrah lah. Right, so instead of Hababa picking up pebbles this size. So when I you for Hajj, huge stone. She pick up the size of your palm lah. Pick up. Cannot. Kena small stones. Macam like this size, small stones. Hababa said, no, you and throw at shaitan, right? You must give the stones. Yeah. And Sama is a character lah. Okay. She said she had to go through so much dahwa, mashallah. And then she went for tawaf after that, tawaf ibadah, and then sa'i semua. During tawaf, she told Hababa, you must hold my hand, because you have no phone, you have no way of contacting you. I cannot lose you. in the mataf. She was so scared to lose Hababa because there's nobody around her. She doesn't know anybody, nobody knows her, and she has no phone. Right, so she said, I cannot lose you in the mataf. You hold my hand, I hold you, okay? And we just gonna tawaf, right? So okay, they went. And and then she said, while she was doing the tawaf, Hababa pulled her hand. I mean, she kind of like wiggled her way out of her grasp. She wiggled her way out and then she disappeared. And then she was, ya Allah. Then she looked around, where did Hababa go? Ya Allah. And she panicked. I didn't have a number. I didn't know how to contact her. She was placed in my care. I don't know where to find this Hababa. Then but she has to finish her tawaf because she has a group of people. She on top of the Hababa, she has a group. There's a whole group. She's a mutawif. She's the mutawif to bring people on Hajj. So she had my group waiting for me, and then the Hababa disappeared. Right, and I was looking around, trying to spot her, I couldn't spot her. Right, and then she says, but I just continued doing my tawaf lah. I was looking around to see, my heart was like, the whole time, where happened to this Hababa? Yeah, you stressed. Yes. You cannot call. You don't know what to find. Right. So she was doing her tawaf. When she finished her 7th round, like she heard someone shout, Fatimah! And by the way, tadi dia Fatimah. Gitu, that's how they will say. That's how they will say. Then she could hear on top of the entire crowd, someone shout her name. And she looked, she saw Hababa by the maqam Nabi Ibrahim. And then Hababa shouted at her. And then she went in, and Hababa was like, so slow. Kita wait for you. I've been waiting for you just now. You're so slow. You tawaf her own tawaf herself. Ini waliya.
She had a plan lah.
But she was confident that she was going to find this person. She was not scared. Yeah, first time going Hajj. Yeah, mashallah. So she said, and then so she said, why are you so slow? Wait for you so long. Your tawaf so slow. And she was when she was tengah tawaf with Hababa, right? Hababa would be like, she would say to people, move, get out of the way. In Arabic lah, go back. This kind of, Hababa are very, mashallah. Yeah, mashallah, tabarakallah. Yemenis. The Hababa has a hal. She has a hal. She's a hal. A state. Dia awliya. Min al-awliya. Right. So she went to Hababa and everything and finished the whole thing. And then after the whole Hajj finished, right, and the group was going back, she wanted to she really macam loved this Hababa so much. Become so, very cute lah. And then she got attached lah, this Hababa. She's very beloved Hababa lah. I asked her the Hababa's name. She said Hababa, Hababa Sophia. And I said, Qabila? I asked Ustazala, what's the Qabila? She said, Al-Attas. Allah. So she had learned that when she was asking, who is Hababa and everything, this Hababa was in fact the cleaner of the maqam of Habib Umar bin Abdul Rahman. And she is a descendant of Habib Umar bin Abdul Rahman. She's the cleaner of the maqam. And the story of how she got money and everything and was sent for Hajj, all she asked for the whole story lah. I mean, everything lah. So she said that when she wanted to say goodbye to the Hababa, Hababa hilang. She couldn't find Hababa. After Hajj, she couldn't find Hababa.
She only met
during the Hajj. So after Hajj, she wanted to say goodbye and then like hugged Hababa before she go back to Hudaydah. She couldn't find Hababa. Hababa disappeared. Right. And then sometime later, there were people from Hudaydah that came to Jeddah, and they came and they were like, they were searching amongst the family lah. Who is Fatimah bin Sumit? Who is Fatimah bin Sumit? Who is Fatimah bin Sumit? Then people pointed lah, said that this person is Fatimah bin Sumit. So sometime later lah, sometime later. right? And then the person was like, so some people from Hadramaut lah, they came, and then they said to her, you are Fatima bin Sumit. So yes, I am. He said, okay, there is a gift for you, right? And Hababa had sent to her part of the cloth that covered the maqam of Habib. So when she got there was when her heart began to desire to go and visit Hudaida. So the Hababa sent a gift, right, from from the maqam lah. And then that's why she was desirous of going to the maqam lah. But when she went back, when she eventually did go to Hudaida to visit the maqam of the Habib, and she searched high and low for the Hababa. She couldn't find. She searched, she was like with Haba Sophia, Al-Attas, she was a cleaner, right, at the maqam, do you all know her? Anybody knows her? She couldn't find her. She searched high and low, she couldn't find her. So, she said, mashallah, she said, she was like, it's kind of experiences lah, that these are all awliya. They are awliya, awliya Allah. They, like they, mashallah. Mashallah. She doesn't know. She doesn't know. She doesn't know the how was like. Or not. Okay. Okay, it's our class, inshallah. So tomorrow she'll be doing the class on the today so few people came at first. The first half was the Marasa Aljin auditorium was half, almost half or 2 or 3/4. There was so many empty seats. The Marasa auditorium. Because I think National Day, everybody's busy and everything. National holidays, a lot of families are together. My family never gathers for National Day. Ziarah where?
Ziarah.
Oh, Friday there were a lot of people as well.
Today.
More people to visit. But visiting Kubo, you can visit at 7 a.m. in the morning. Right. The class was 9.
Yeah.
9. So, and in fact, you can come even later on. If you can come early, you come later, you can come after Zohor, you can come after, it's things whereby like for me, like I don't know a lot of this information. And usually you must have someone who lives there and has done the research. She has done research, a lot of research, and put together books, and she has done this course, several times in Jeddah, and so on. So it's like you want to sit with people who actually really know Medina, like inside, outside, It's this kind of knowledge I can't give you all. I don't know. If I bring her to Medina, I know the basic things. I don't know the in and outs of Medina. Right? Tarim, I can probably tell you more lah. Right? But Medina, Mecca, I know the basic things. I don't know in and out. Right? So these are the people that you really, want to sit with and spend time with, inshallah. Okay. No, she was not from Tarim. Her mother married and her father's family is based in Saudi. Father's family roots are from Hadramaut, yes. But father's family they're based in Saudi. So the mother moved over and stayed in Saudi. Her mother, Habib Omar's sister. But she is from Jeddah, because when I spoke to her this morning, I will translate you, and she said, okay. She said she speaks quite fast. And I said, okay, no, I can take fast. Then I just said to her that usually I translate Hababa Maryam, Hababa Aishun. And she said, yeah, they have Tarimi accent. They have Tarimi lahja lah, the Tarimi slang. He said, I'm not Tarimi. He said, I'm from Saudi. My Arabic is Saudi. She was good. It's true, her Arabic is not Tarimi. Her Arabic is Saudi. It's not Tarimi at all. But she was very formal in her Fusha. She was very Fusha. So she's a degree lah. It's a degree in business or something like that. Okay, we're going to our class now, inshallah. Your battery is down to very little. Okay. Your phone.
Okay now.
Okay. All right, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. So that is all just to encourage people. Tomorrow there's one more session. So you don't go today. Like as our teachers would say lah, if you can't get it all, then don't fall short on getting some. If you can't come for all, I don't fall short on getting some. Right? So if you come for 1 hour, come for 1 hour. Come for 2 hours, come for 2 hours. Right? You don't see like, oh, it's from 9 to 4, then turn off. 9 to 4, then come whenever you can come lah. No one's gonna hold you at gunpoint and keep you there from 9 to 4. And no one's gonna lock the door on you. You can go home whenever you wanna go home. Like today, people like Sarah came what time? 11. She missed the entire best first part.
But
Yeah, but it was worth it as well.
Worth
Worth it. She came at 11. We all dismissed at 12 for lunch. 11. Kan? Yeah. She came and it was lunchtime. Alhamdulillah. Why didn't for us for lunch? You would have heard the stories.
tomorrow.
No lah. The lunch was only
Only for
me,
the
Satiza.
teachers.
Because I had to engage her lah, to speak in Arabic and everything. I had to engage her. But tomorrow I encourage people to come. I don't know whether it's sold out now because now people are like I felt so this morning when I was translating and I saw the Aljunied hall was really so many empty seats. Half the top half was all empty. So many empty seats this morning. Right. And I felt so sad because she was really giving so much gems that not anybody can give. I'm like 100% sure that almost none of the Satizas here in Singapore have that kind of knowledge. Because this is basically it's a specialization. It's a specialization. Not everybody has that kind of knowledge. Right. So even like the Mutawif and everything, right? They might not know. They won't know. Especially this pillar and where was the mimbar and where was this mimbar and where was this door and what is this door and all of the special things around it. People wouldn't know, right? Unless you have done your research and done reading up. Right. So I encourage people to go. And she said you can ask questions. I have a lot of questions actually. I have a lot of questions to ask. Right. I have a lot of questions.
It's not recorded.
You cannot record. Not allowed to record. Right. Not allowed to record. Right. And it's not on Zoom also. Her grave is right there in Baqi. No. Her grave is in the Baqi. It's well known. It's well known in the Baqi. There's no debate about where her grave is. It's known. It's in Al Baqi. Yeah, it's Al Baqi. Right. The grave is in Al Baqi. And just be very careful that if these words are from the Shia. Shia will bring in they do invent narrations. They do fabricate narrations. Okay, so just be very careful about a lot of things. But Fatimah Zahra understood Baqi', it's a Baqi', right? And all the wives of Rasulullah SAW, only 2 are outside of Baqi'. Sayyidah Khadijah and Sayyidah Habibah. Because she wanted to be buried where she spent her first night with Rasulullah SAW. Romantic. Her first night with Rasulullah when they consummated their marriage, it was somewhere, it's on the path between Makkah and Medina. She wanted to be buried and she spent the first night with Rasulullah, inshallah. Okay, so our lesson today, inshallah, just take a bit of lesson, inshallah. Attending, let's see, honoring guests. Now, I think on hospitality and visiting and honoring guests. We finish attending funerals, right? Now, we finish attending funerals, visiting fellow Muslims, those who are sick, right? Okay, I think I was there. So visiting fellow Muslims, the Messenger of Allah Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam said, a caller calls out to you to whoever visits a sick person or visits a Muslim brother, you have excelled. Tibta wa taba mashaka. There's a hadith. Tibta wa taba mashaka. Right? You have excelled, right? And your footsteps are blessed. And you have taken a place, وَتَبَوَّأْتَ مَقْعَدَ فِي الْجَنَّةِ is the hadith. Right? And you have taken your place in paradise. Right? So anyone who leaves a house to visit someone for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala or to visit someone who is sick. I think my sister-in-law just released my podcast with her and my brother. The latest one. On sincerity, yeah. And I mentioned how my mother, when she was very sick, she kept saying yes to people who wanted to come visit her. Right? Until I had to message her. Like I knew she was very sick. So I had to just, because as a daughter, she will say she will say, truly, yeah, can you take it or not? Maybe to people she might be shy and she'll say, come lah, come lah, come lah. So I had to text her and I said to my mother, I know my students are messaging you and my students want to visit you, right? But are you okay? Can you take visitors? I know you're very sick, you're breathless and everything. Then she said that, she said to me, I don't want to deny them of the reward of visiting those who are sick. And I just said to my mother, they got their reward already by their niyat. I will tell all of them, don't go and visit. I will tell them. You get your reward by your niyat. Alas, okay? Your niyat is your reward. Right? But my mother is unable lah. So when you want to visit those who are sick, you must call in. Check first. Don't just appear at the door. Because some people also are uncomfortable with people coming and seeing them in a state of being sick. Because you feel so gross, you feel like you're dressed in a very weird, strange way, but your aura is all shown, kan? You don't feel comfortable with people coming and seeing you, right, lying down, that kind of thing, So you're okay if your children come. Your kids come, you're okay, right? Your husband, your whoever lah, you're okay. Closest family lah, and it's normal lah for people. So if you're not so close, then don't come lah. Not so close, don't come. Right. So of course for sick people, you need to text them. I message them and ask them, are you okay if I come? And always check in with the family lah. If you can't ask them directly, check in with the family. Right. I know when my mother was in the hospital, there were a few people that just appeared. They just appeared, which was inconvenient lah, and was a bit difficult for us because the children are there to look after my mother, and there is a quota. Hospital, you only can have, actually maximum two caregivers and 2 visitors. So four people maximum in the A ward. Right? So because people appeared out of nowhere, there was one time where there were people that appeared out of nowhere and they entered the ward. So when we came, we couldn't enter. Because you were stuck. You don't know who was upstairs. Right? Because they didn't tell anybody, and they just appeared out of nowhere. They didn't tell my mother also. So my mother herself didn't know that they were coming. Right? And then this is inconvenient because then now if my mother needs anything, she needs any help, kids are not there. We're unable to enter. Because you're occupying the space. Right? So these are things whereby you need to understand lah. Right? Don't it's not your right to visit people if you want to visit people. It's not your right. While it is is greatly rewarded, right? And it is something that is that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala loves, only on condition that they want you there. They don't want you there, don't come. Right? So message people lah, message and get to know and to find out. Right. So Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said that walk a mile to visit the sick, walk 2 miles to reconcile between 2 people, and walk 3 miles to visit your Muslim brother. Right. So walk a mile to visit the sick. Right. So if they need, if they are happy if you visiting them, right? Only if you know that you visiting them makes them happy. If you know that your visit to them, there's not really, they're not keen to see you. Right, then don't go. Okay, to make people see you. Right. To reconcile between 2 people, so people who are fighting, right? So to reconcile, right, and to disperse, misunderstandings and any form of fighting lah, and then 3 miles to visit your Muslim brother again, right? Check with them first. Okay, all of this under condition, you must check with them first, and don't just appear at their doors, right? Especially if you know that they are people who they're very particular lah. They're very particular. That you don't just come to someone's house, and you take up their time, right? So attending funerals, Rasulullah said that whoever prays a funeral prayer receives the reward of a qirat. Qirat is a huge, like the size of Mountain Uhud, and it's big size of Uhud. Whoever is present at the burial receives the reward of 2 qirat. Right, so like 2 mountain of Uhud. This, as and I mentioned earlier also, right, that to pray the funeral prayer, right, it is sunnah mu'akkada. Right, so if you're in an area where someone has passed away, it doesn't matter who it is, whether you know or you don't know, sunnah mu'akkada, right, to pray the janazah prayer. And if, of course, it's fardul kifayah lah. Right? But if you know that someone is doing it already, then it comes sunnah mu'akkada. Right, so especially if it's your family member, of course lah, you have to go. Neighbor, neighbor, right? One thing that I really love about the older generation, that maybe our generation is still not bad. I'm not sure about the younger ones, right? It's really when it comes to melawat, they never miss, kan? Right? In our culture, we say melawat, right? Melawat, that means it's understood jenazah. Saya nak pergi melawat. That means jenazah azah. Right? The old generation, no matter who, right, kan, no matter who it is, can be some distant neighbor from don't know where, like really far, they will go. Then when they hear there's a janazah, they will go. They will put aside everything and they will go. Maybe because our zaman, because our work and everything, can take leave, that, right? But I was quite surprised for me personally. My mother passed away on Sunday morning, 4 a.m. So many people didn't come. Right? I was quite surprised of my students and even close students, right? And even people who like your children are. I've taught your own children. Like you didn't show up at my mom's funeral. So many. And I noticed who came, who didn't come. I noticed, right? So like Sunday apa? Kan? Nobody's at work. It's Sunday. Right. You all came, right? And didn't come, right? Oh, you didn't come, right? Hamzah came.
Hamzah and my husband went.
You sent a rep,
Alhamdulillah.
Send a rep. No, inshallah. Right, but I mean, my students, like, especially Madrasah As-Salam, I was very disappointed. Actually, I was very disappointed on Sunday morning, the janazah. Do you notice? It was the old mothers. That means those who had their kids in Madrasah for years. The newer mothers, very few came to my mom's janazah, and I knew they were in Singapore. I know those who were overseas. Okay, I know lah. Because it was last week of June. Right. And so I know like a lot of my mom's cousins had traveled because holiday June. I knew a lot of those who had traveled. But I also knew those who were in Singapore. Right. So amongst my mom's cousins, that my mother did a lot for them. The younger ones especially. They didn't show their face. Right, at the janazah. It matters to the family. Like, why you can't show your face? Right. And I also touched Ustazah Khadijah Berdeka Zaman came at night. She came with her mother at night. Because I mean they really prioritize janazah, azza. It matters to come to people's houses. When your father passed away, I went to your house.
Yeah.
And I just met you.
And I find out who came.
Yeah, you find, and it matters. It matters.
I was overseas and
It matters. Yeah. I just met her in university my first year. She was not around. Yeah, she wasn't around.
I
Right.
find out who came for my father's janazah. I really
Yes,
find out.
and it matters. Right now after going through it, I appreciate this hadith so much more. It actually, I didn't realize it would matter,
It does.
but it did.
Yeah.
It actually did. I was aware of who were the people that came, and amongst the asatiza that I know personally, right? I remember my friend Ustazah Khadijah Hussein. She's in Tarim right now. Right, when her youngest sister passed away, right, motorbike accident, right. I texted her, and I only met her in Syria. I met her in Syria years ago lah. So I kind of bonded with her because we're same age. And 87 lah, She's Maria's friend. I was Maria's friend. But kind of I had a bonding with her lah because we're all same age. So when I just heard the message that her sister passed away, like her younger sister passed away, that day itself, I think I did text her. I said that where's the janazah and everything, I want to go. I was about to cancel my classes already. I want to go and visit. No, it's not a close friend. It's quite a far friend. Right? But her younger sister passed away. She's big. Anyway, she's closest to the sister because she's number 9 in the family. So number 10. There were 10 siblings. So closest, because right after you 1 year, by 1 year, closest sister to her. So I messaged her. I remember I messaged her. I don't know whether Shifaya knows her, like she's Tarim kan, Ustazah Khadijah. But I don't think she's listening to me online because she's Ustazah Khadijah kan. She's mashallah tabarakallah. I remember I texted her. No, Shifaya don't say nothing. I remember I texted her. I said, where's your sister janazah lah, I nak pergi. And then she said, no. They're bringing the janazah to Johor. Because her father is buried in Johor. So they wanted the sister to be buried together with the father. So the family had made arrangements to bring it to Johor, right? And the solat jenazah semua in Johor lah. So I didn't go lah, of course lah. But it was in my mind. So eventually I told Mardia, I said, Mardia, are you going to see Khadijah or not? And then Mardia was like, I will figure out my time, my schedule semua lah. So eventually I said, Mardia, I'm not going to go with you. I'm going to go myself. Right. So I texted her lah. I remember. And she lived all the way up in Sembawang ke Yishun ke, very far away. North. Those kind of far places. Back then, back then, some people live at North Point. North Shore. Some people live at North Shore. So far. North Shore is still.
Okay, I don't live in Yishun.
North Shore, Lion King. The land, the sun does not touch the shadowy places, the corner. That's North Shore. I'm joking. The elephant graveyard. It's our zaman, right? The elephant graveyard, right?
Yeah.
It's our zaman. Yeah, but the light does not go. Okay, anyway. So anyway, she lives quite far up lah. But I still went. I went. Even though it was days after her sister passed away. I still went. I texted her. I said, Khadijah, I want to see you. Right. Your sister passed away. Right. So I still went to visit her. To see her mother. It was the first time I met her mother. I remember it was just an empty flat. She was unmarried at that time. She wasn't married at that time. There was just me with her, talking to her. Right. And then I talked to her mother. Right. It matters lah. And I think they remember. They remember who comes to them, even if you don't make it on the day itself. And you text them thereafter. And you check on them. Right. For me, it mattered. So even those who didn't make it on that day, so I was disappointed with the mothers because your kids are in my school. And some of them, especially, I've taught your kids for years. I've taught you for years. Like my mother passed away, you can't show your face. It matters to me. Right. And then of course I see text messages you message. I remember. At least you can't show your face, you text me. At least you message me, you text me. People all the way from Australia. My Sajinan is my friend that I met in Tarim. Right. And she texted me, so Najiba, my mom passed away. That morning itself, I emailed Najiba. I said, so Najiba, my mom just passed away. Right. She said, call me, Ustazah. She said, can you please call me? Right. Please call me now. Right. She wanted to talk to me directly. So Najiba. And she's not someone on WhatsApp. She has no WhatsApp. She doesn't have WhatsApp. And then because I was so busy with the janazah, she sent me a voice message through email. She recorded her voice and sent it through email, voice message. Talk to me. And I said, Najiba. This kind of, Sada Muniba messaged me as well. Right. But really, like I had one friend, I mentioned her sometimes in my class, or quite often in my class. She's my friend from TKGS, from Sec 1. She's my friend from Sec 1. She was my very close friend from TKGS, Sec 1, but she took her path, and she's not very practicing as a Muslim, she's not at all practicing actually. As a Muslim, she took her path. But she messaged me, on my WhatsApp. She got my number. She texted me. She was like, your mom passed away. Right? Can I see you? Can I visit you? Right. So, and she came, she drove to Clementi, sat with me, talked to me. And she was not a person who practices Islam, doesn't pray. I know. Doesn't pray, she smokes. And she even in front of me, she said to me, can I smoke here? And I said, no, please. Right, but she put in the effort to sit down and see me. She drove all the way, right, to Clementi just to sit with me and talk to me after my mom's passing. So visiting people when they have, so I feel that the old generation, and my mother definitely, if any news of any death anywhere in Singapore and Malaysia, Malaysia's counted now. Malaysia counted. Right. She's there. She will go and visit, even wedding, any wedding, no matter how far. She will go to some random kampong in Malaysia, and attend the wedding because the invite came to her. They bothered to send an invite to someone in Singapore, right? So she would bother herself to go to Malaysia, right? For this, so I mean, these are really ukhuwah, etiquette. Ukhuwah is brotherhood, and we don't realize the importance of it until it happens to you, and then you realize that, like subhanallah, subhanallah. People who, like it matters because I noticed who didn't show up. I noticed who didn't even text me, like who didn't even bother. Right, that night also, like Hanan came dengan Lulu, her kids, everything. Like it mattered to me. Hanan came for the Azza as well. I mean, Hanan, I noticed, right? Because she put importance in coming for the 40 days Azza, right? For the all these things lah. They put importance in these things lah. And even if let's say you were overseas, right? And people had a death in the family whatsoever, when you come back, it does not harm you to text them and ask them, will you be home? I'll come and see you, we'll do this for a while, right? Text lah. At least I see that you reached out. I get a lot of texts from because I tegur everybody. I just reminded everybody on people who just completely did not have any contact with me whatsoever, and especially people who have been in my classes for years, or my mother, and the people who actually know my mother personally, right? And you just couldn't show your face, at her funeral. So subhanallah, Allah knows the importance of going for Azza, and just showing support to the family who's going through a loss, right? Sarah, I think I met you first university kan? My first university, right? 2006 kan? My father passed 2007, right? I remember 2007 father passed away. I only knew her for 1 year in university. When I heard her father passed away, I went straight to your parents' house. I didn't know your mother. I don't know your family at all. I never met her father. All I knew was that I met this person in university. Now she's my friend. Her father passed away. She's not in Singapore right now. I will go to her house. I didn't know anybody in the flat. I was alone. I went there alone. I didn't know anybody. Who do I know? We have no common friends at that time. Right. I went there alone. I remember I went there alone. I was alone. With no common friends. Because I just moved to university. I went there alone because I knew that my friend father passed away. Right? I'll be there. I'll go. Right. And I remember that year also I went for Hajj. And I did an Umrah on his behalf. I didn't know who he was. I never met your father. I never met him in real life. Never met him. Right. So I mean that day, I mean this is ukhuwah fil Islam. Right. That you, and many people, I mean, in the sense that for me, if I hear of any death, right, I'm dead. Like Habib Ali Jifri, when I first came to Tarim, Habib Ali Jifri's wife passed away. I actually never met her. But I benefit from Habib Ali Jifri a lot online. Habib Ali Jifri, mashallah, online. I used to benefit a lot from him before I came to Tarim. I went for the funeral. I didn't know anybody at all. It was filled with Tarimis. I didn't know who they were. I went by myself alone. I just saw the message on the group and they put some directions how to get to the house of the Azza. I went by myself. I didn't know who he was. And I remember that because my mom's training lah. And I used to go for Azza around Tarim, like not knowing who passed away. I don't know who died. Right. But because it was announced, it was put on the group, I'm dead. I'm not, I'm not going to be indifferent as a neighbor because we're in the same neighborhood. Right? So I didn't know which Hababa passed away, which Habib passed away. I didn't know who passed away. But I would just go to the Azza, and then just ikram. I don't know who's the people of the house or who's the family. I don't know anything. Just go there because haqqul Muslim ala Muslim. It's a right of a believer over another believer. I've literally gone to funerals, but I have no idea who's the family. I don't know how to ask also. It was so full of people. So I just sit there. Because it is haq. It's haq Muslim ala Muslim. Right? You don't have to know the people there, right, for you to go. Subhanallah. Right. So anyway, right, so Azza, I had to go for funerals. People have deaths, right? At least in our zaman, we have no excuse. So even if you can't go there physically, right, you can text. You can drop a message. And no one's going to scold you for dropping a message. You're not bothering anybody, right? You're not bothering anybody. Right? No one's going to, be hard on you or whatever, right? Send a text. So at least, you're showing someone that, okay, I'm thinking of you. Khala, Aisha, Al-Kaf. Until now, whenever she see me, she'll hug me. Whenever she see me, she saw me, she hugged me. Like, because the day when Haba Mariam came, she said to me, whenever you cry during your tahlil, I also cry. Right. And this is because her mother passed away 2 years ago. His mother passed away. And they say, you cry during your tahlil, I also cry during your tahlil. Inshallah. Today I doing tahlil. Let me doing tahlil. Should start my tahlil again. Now already 6:30 already. But inshallah, maybe tomorrow I can tahlil lah. See how the hub. So Fatima bin Smith around. So maybe next. See how I can do it. I can do my tahlil. Start my tahlil again. Mashallah, right? But she said that she gets it lah. She gets it lah. That is, mashallah. The support lah, it matters. Right, the support. I have a few friends that have lost siblings. Diana, but I mean Shashfaya knows Diana. Diana Ustaz Ismail Khatib's wife. Diana Bakshir, interim. Her brother met with an motorbike accident here in Singapore. I happened to be in Singapore at the time. Right. Diana was interim. Right. So I went after I had a class at Hanan's house when the news came lah. That Diana's brother had met with an accident and he had died, passed away. Right. So Zahra Al-Haddad knew Diana. So I told Zahra, I want to go and visit Diana's mother. Diana's parents lah. We were not close. No, but I know Diana. Right? Her youngest brother just died. He passed away from a motorbike accident. Right. Haqqul Muslim ala Muslim. Right. So I went and I went to visit with Zahra lah, with Zahra Al-Haddad. We went together to visit her family, her mother. And the news reached Diana. They had friends from Tarim, that they came by. Her mother told her that this Fana and Zahra came just now. So also when my mom passed away, she messaged me as well. Diana, she messaged me as well from Tarim. It's very few actually for my friends from Tarim messaged me. And my mom passed. I know Shifaya, you messaged me, Shifaya. No, I didn't reply her, but I know you messaged me, Shifaya. It's okay, I know you messaged me. I see your messages. Right, Diana messaged me, Shifaya messaged me. I said I know the names though. Tasneem messaged me, right? I mean, I know by name who messaged me, right? Who were not in Singapore lah. So anyway, Nashira, do you come? Okay, I know. You want to see? No, come can already lah. Show your face can already lah. Show your face. Show your face is good enough already. You. But mashallah, Haqqul Muslim ala Muslim, right? So that's what I'm saying, that when you go through it, you appreciate this hadith and you realize that Allah knows that these things matter. Right? And then Rasul said, whoever is present at the burial receives the reward of 2 qirat. Right? So this is of course only for men, in the hukum of Shafi'i Mazhab. Only men are supposed to go to a burial. And there was once so women, you're not supposed to go and follow janazah. Women are supposed to stay in the home, right? It is a culture in our society that women follow janazah. Women are not supposed to follow janazah. Right? Women, huh?
Today, two of my relatives passed away very suddenly. So I happened to be there in masjid for the janazah for cleansing. Then I tell my mom, okay, we cannot go home to fulfill the obligation of women. Don't go out and no burial. We just stay there. That's what my mom told. So I was wondering, do we still get the rewards for away or do we not? Because we technically that lubang kubur is just near us, but we just stay away.
Yeah. So yeah, it counts. As long as you don't purposely follow the janazah. You're not following the janazah. Following is like, say, like my mother, right? They prayed over her at Masjid Abdul Razak. Then got on the bus, went to Pusara Ahmad. That's called following. And that's called following the janazah. right? If you're just so happy, like I've been a few times I was at my mom's grave, and because it's all fresh graves, so there were a few times whereby people were burying people behind me. I'm not part of the burial. Like, I'm just here to see my mom, and my mom's there. Right, so I noticed that people came and they were burying, and I could hear them talk, and they give the khutbah, and they, and they remind people about the Christians in the grave and everything. Oh, literally three rows. I was there with my mother, and I could see what they were doing. I wasn't following the janazah. Like, I was there to visit my mother, but the janazah happened to be there lah. Somebody was burying, and also to reflect on this, right? I saw a few janazahs, in the times where I was, by my mother. I saw a few janazahs being brought and buried. Right, there was one janazah whereby everybody who followed, they were women, except for there's a small group of men, like there. So I don't know, Allahu Alam, right? Maybe the men were not available, or not enough men in the family, or what's going on lah. Another janazah also I saw, right, that same thing lah. Again, very few men and a lot of women. Right, and there was another janazah that I saw, almost like 3 people came, right, for janazah. Right, so that's why it's like, that's why it comes a haq Muslim ala Muslim, because some people have small families. They do have small families, right? So if every man, in society, or you hear of a death, hear of a, you have a death lah, and they make it a point to follow janazah, right? Then you kind of, like you bring the crowd. Now you bring the crowd to follow the janazah. You bring the crowd. Right? So it matters lah. It matters lah. And I think it really does matter, right, to bring the crowd. Right? So for me also, I know of my students who are the boys who went for janazah, which really made my heart feel cool lah. It made my heart feel cool. That I saw pictures, of my brothers taking pictures, and I could see in the background, right, my small Madrasah Salam boys, right, they had followed the janazah, my mom's janazah, to be buried. Right? So these are things that matter lah. Like I said, you train your boys lah. Train your boys. So janazah, go and follow. You're a man. Okay, men, go and follow janazah. Right? And my husband will definitely follow janazah. He'll never let go. If he's there for the funeral, he's there for the janazah, he'll follow. Right? No excuses lah. I say so far at Choa Chu Kang, Pasar Rahman, it's not an excuse lah. It's not an excuse. You can always find your way back home, get a Grab or something. And the bus brings them back to the original houses anyway. Right, so Hakul Muslim ala Muslim, right, must follow janazah for men. So encourage your men, right, your father, your husband, right, your sons, right, train them on following janazah. I'm also, like, right now seeing the trend in society, all this haq around janazah is being lost. All this haq around janazah, people don't visit, they don't melawat. The younger generation, and when they come, they don't know the adab. And they come, they're chit-chatting, they're talking, they're laughing. And families grieving, you need to come and have adab. Right? You take the Quran, recite it by the side. You go and do a juz. If you can't read Quran, do your zikr. Right? Do something. Do Yasin. If someone's not fluent, do Yasin. Right? Or do Fatihas. Right? If you're on your menses, do your zikr. Right? But don't sit there, because for me, I feel offended. Right? People come, and they are just chit-chatting. My mother just passed away. What's wrong with you? Okay. Right? So I feel offended, that why are you so insensitive, right, towards the family? Right? So, and I know people, they bring their kids, and the kids also no sense. No sense that this is that this is a house where someone just passed away. Now you don't come in, and play and fool around. Right? You must have sense. Right? So Allahumma salli wa sallim. And of course, with this new, I call it waswasa. And so there are whispers from shaitan lah, of saying, oh, read Quran bid'ah, you cannot do, it's an innovation whatsoever, has even more cause for people to not have any adab, right, when they come for janazah. Because you know what to do. Because if you can't read Quran, then what are you going to do? Carry Yasin. You want to do? Carry Fatihah. You want to do? Right? Fatihah cannot, Yasin cannot, Quran cannot, everything also cannot. Right? Zikr also bid'ah. Sila ilah also bid'ah. And then you want to do what? Eat. Like, I mean, I come to my house to what? You want me to serve you lunch? My mom just passed away. Like, what kind of one? Kan? Mashallah, my mom's cousin, he handled the entire, he straight away when he got the news, When my mom passed away, straight away he handled the entire food. Like the family shouldn't be doing anything at all actually. Azza, for the funerals, for the 40th day funeral, for the 40th day, recitation and everything. By right, the family of the deceased shouldn't lift a finger. It should be the neighbors and the relatives around them who should take initiative, right, to order or to send or to handle the matter. And mashallah, my mom's cousin straight away, he said he already ordered an amount of food and sent to the house already. And we didn't have to do anything on, subhanallah. So, but now I realize that whenever I want to do an azza, I want to do the 7th day, I want to do the 40th day, we do it ourselves, right? Because it's not our society to take initiative to do it for us. Now we do ourselves, right? So, but in Tarim, no. In Tarim, you are handled. They will do it for you. Right? Nobody, you don't have to lift a finger. And in Tarim, a woman who is widowed, right, and she goes into her iddah period for 4 months, 10 days. Another thing that is lost in our society, the whole respect and honoring of iddah. Right? While you're allowed to go and work, if you have to go and work or you have responsibilities, you have things that you have to do, you can do that, but no more. I can go out and work and come back. Right? You're not allowed to go and holiday or go and, Hari Raya or whatever. You're in iddah. Iddah is iddah. You're not allowed to go and do all these things. But I will see that in Tarim, right, a woman who's going through her iddah because of death, right, 4 months, 10 days, every Thursday, the society, the woman around her will come to her house and recite salawats. And they will bring food. Right? They would handle everything. They will clean up the house, everything. Right? The widow just sits there. My friend from Mauritius, mashallah, I love her very much. This elderly lady from Mauritius. She came 2023 with her whole family. She had a long journey from Mauritius to Tarim. Right? They really want to go Tarim. They had to go through so much difficulty. They lost all their baggage. They lost all kinds of things. Husband, wife, 2 sons and 1 daughter. My daughter 12 years old. I arrived at Tarim. And they didn't know anybody in Tarim when they arrived. They just, pandai-pandai. They just came by themselves, You know the story lah. I call her Uwais. Right? So she arrived in Tarim. She knew of someone online, who knew me. She knew this person called Yusra. Yusra knew me, right? It's because I've taught on her platform a few times. Right? So online, some online. This Yusra is from Germany, I think. From Germany. And my friends I don't know. Right? So Yusra messaged me in the middle of the night. Right? She was like, there's a person that is, in Tarim. Whole family just came. They don't speak any Arabic. Right? Can you go and find them and help them out? Right? So I told my husband, someone just came, they don't know anybody, they don't know any Arabic, right? From Mauritius. Right? So we're gonna find them. And then we went that night on our close summer, we went out go and find these people. Right? And then we got to know them and everything. 1 year later, her husband suddenly passed away. All of a sudden, passed away. Remember her? 1 year. All of a sudden passed away. That morning itself, before I went to my university, she was at school, and this is the thing, make it priority. I saw the message early in the morning. My husband saw it first. It was like, hey, the uncle passed away. And I was like, you sure? So, yeah, the son just posted in the group that his father passed away. Right? And then I straight away, I think it was just prayed subuh. I went down straight to her house. Right, 5 a.m. in the morning. Because subuh was from 4:30 gitu. 5 a.m. in the morning, I went to her house straight away. I sat with her. There was nobody with her. The woman and the daughter, 12 years old. Then 13 lah. 13 years already. I sat with her and it was an empty house. Right? Her sons had brought the body to, because they usually, in Tarim, they will bathe the body at Habib's house. Any foreigner that dies in Tarim, Habib's house will usually be used for the washing janazah. Habib will honor, right, foreigners, because most of us, our flats are too small. The apartments in Tarim are too small. And Tarim is not like Singapore, whereby the table for washing janazah is fitted. So in Tarim, they wash the water falls to the floor. So you need a house, right, to wash the water falls to the floor. So they had taken the body, and the sons were there at Habib's house and everything. She was alone in the house with her daughter. I came there. I was the first one I came there and I sat with her lah until I had to go off to go to school. So school wasn't an excuse. Like 6:30 my bus came. So I came at 5. 5, sat with her, I did the Quran. So I took one juice, recite the Quran. 6:20, I excused myself. Like people all came later on around 9. Like I know I had school. I had to be in school by 7. Right. So I have to, and I only come back around 1. I didn't want to see her after school. I went there at 5 in the morning. And of course she wasn't sleeping lah. She was, she was grieving lah. She was grieving. And but thereafter, every single Thursday, the women in the community would go and read salawats at her house, just to give the support. And it's a very beautiful culture that they have in Tarim, that because widowed woman, you're in Eddah, you're in Eddah, right? So, to give support, right, to you while you're alone and your husband just passed away. MashaAllah. So beautiful cultures that people have, MashaAllah. And I also realized that this entire thing about I don't know who I was talking to. I was talking to somebody about this. That I now I appreciate the whole 7-day tahleel, 40 days tahleel, 100 days tahleel. I think I was talking to people online. Not like any specific person. Right. I forgot who I talked to. But I think I was talking to people online. I was in class there. I forgot where I said where I said. Because like the 7-day tahleel, right? So when your family member passes away, you're in grief, right? And grief is normal and human, and it shouldn't be, seen as something bad. Grief is grief. It's just human lah, because you miss the person that played a huge role in your life. You miss that person very much. So the 7-day tahleel, right, brought people to the house because the family is still grieving. The first 3 days is hard, The first 3 days are the hardest days after the death of a person. Right? First 3 days tahleel really mattered, right? Because people come to the house, right? And people, are there to recite for your loved one who's passed away. 7 after a week, it still hurts. Right? It's the first week, that the person is gone. People come to the house, right? The family is still grieving. People go on with their lives. After 40 days, you still come to the house. Right? So come to the house and you grieve, and the family is still grieving. They're still grieving, right? After 100 days, you come to the house. The family is still grieving, right? And then you come out, once a year. People have their howl and everything whatsoever, the remembrance, of the one who has passed away, right? So these are practices that the awliya put in. This is not, of course, not from hadith or whatsoever, but you see the hikmah of it. That in a sense, you don't see that people don't just forget, people don't just forget, and sometimes that, when my friend Tasneem, when her son passed away, right, when I was texting her after that, I was talking to her and everything. I mean, the grief is there, it's forever. My friend Shazia also, her son was hit by a car, right, died on the spot, 7-year-old, died on the spot. I was texting her as well. I was following up with her. I remember for Shazia, because the thing about children, they have no sins. They have no sins. So there is no like khatam to do for them. There's no sin, and there's no, they're Ahl Jannah. They're Ahl Jannah. So you don't actually do khatamat. For adults, they do khatams. For children, they do it. Right? And there's not technically an azza as well. You can go and visit the one who's lost the child, but there's no like full-fledged yasin and la ilaha illallah and everything, because you don't have to give the reward to them, because there are people of paradise anyway. And there's no, so there isn't. So Shazia, when her son passed away, was it on a Monday? So Shazia, when her son passed away, on Monday evening, Tuesday there was Hadra Basaudan. So Hawaba Noor, I said that have the Hadra at Shazia's house. So people come. People come. Right? And then she told me that some days after her son had passed away, right, suddenly there was this, random group of Tarimi women came to her house, knocked her door. Right. And then she said, then the woman was said to her in Arabic, we heard your son passed away. Your son passed away a few days ago. I said, yes. Then the woman said that we want to come and read salawats for you, right? So that your heart begins to heal, right, from this. Random people, you don't know who they were. You don't know who they were. They just heard about that there's a foreigner in the land, no family with her. It's just her and her husband and her children. It's painful, if you lose a child and you're alone. Your mother's not there, your father's not there, your family, nobody, your cousin, nobody there. Just you, your husband, and your children. And one child dies. And it's very hard lah. The community has to come together lah. Right? So she told me that this random Tarimi woman walked into my house, sat in my hall, and they were doing salawats for me, and they didn't allow me to serve them. They kept her there. Like, you must sit here and listen to the salawat. Do not allow my friend to go and get water or get tea or get whatever. No. So we don't want to be served. We don't want you to serve us. No, just sit down. Right? The salawats will help you. It will help you. And you're doing salawats. And they're very strong in the salawats, right, when it comes to helping people. Mashallah. Alhamdulillah. Inshallah, we will stop them today, inshallah. Now it's what time? Almost 7. She told my husband I'll be home before Maghrib. What time is Maghrib?
16.
My husband will be back on Maghrib. 7? 16. Any other questions? Right. Is it sinning if women follow Janazah to the grave and say till the end? Following Janazah to the grave, yes, it is a sin. It is a sin. In the Shafi'i madhab, Rasulullah says to Fatima Zahra that when Fatima Zahra once came back and he asked her, where did you go? She said there was a death and she went to visit. Right. And then Rasulullah said, did you follow the Janazah? They said no, she just went to the house of the people. Right. And then he said that, oh Fatima, had you gone to follow the Janazah, I would not pray over your Janazah. That's severe. And of course, this is I know there are other opinions. I'm not discounting other opinions. There are other opinions that says makruh. Like makruh. There are other opinions that say makruh. Some say it's haram, some say makruh for women to go. And the other opinion, it matters, right? Because I mentioned before, my grand-uncle's ex-wife was a revert. Right? She passed away about a few weeks before my mother passed away. She passed away, I think, a week before Hari Raya Haji. Right? She was a revert. Like, her entire family is not Muslim. Okay. So when she passed away, and she's my grand-uncle's ex-wife. My grand-uncle has passed away. So the only Muslims around her, right, were her own children, 2 children, Muslims, and my family. Right? Which many of them were not really in contact with her anymore because she's a divorced, in-law, right, of the family. Right. But my mom kept in touch with her and would read Quran with her and teach her ngaji and everything, and ensure that she remained on Islam after my grand-uncle divorced her. But 30 years ago, or 30 or 40 years ago, my grand-uncle divorced her years ago. My mother kept in touch with her, Auntie Tina. Now her grave is straight in line with my mother. Straight in line. They're same row. Same row, my mother. Mom loved her a lot, mashallah. But I remember that when she passed away, there were not many Muslims around her. And especially Muslims who were knowledgeable. Her own kids were not very knowledgeable. All right, so my cousin Zamardia and my auntie Zamardia's mom, I went to watch Janazah because no Muslims went to watch Janazah. And after washing kafan and everything, right, good to bring to the grave, right, everybody there was non-Muslim. It was her sisters, her cousins, her nephews, and all non-Muslim. No, only like my brothers went, a handful of Muslims were there. So, and all these non-Muslims were going to follow the Janazah, right? So my dad messaged me about it. And I said, take the hukum of makruh lah. Because in this situation, you have a whole group of non-Muslims following a Muslim Janazah. And they're all women. They're non-Muslims. So at this point, the maslahah, right, what is the best thing to do is to follow. Right, because you want to explain to them what's going on. Right, so I said, so Mardia went, she followed. She said, first time in her life she followed Janazah. Because she's also very strict on it, she won't follow. But looking at the situation, literally 5 Muslims were there. 5 or 6 Muslims were there. The rest were all non-Muslim. You can't say, no, haram, you cannot go. No, use your senses. These are non-Muslims. Right, they don't know what's going on. right? So you go there and you explain to them what's happening, right? And it's a form of da'wah as well. That is why the statement, that the khilaf by the ulama, difference of opinions between scholars, is a mercy. So in such situation, so if a normal situation, I won't follow. But if I was there with Mardia, I would have followed also. I'm very strongly against women following janazah. But if I was there and I see a majority non-Muslim, family, her family was majority non-Muslim, and so few Muslims were there, I would follow. You would take it as really, it is compulsory on you to go, to educate the people. So you got to understand religion, and that is why also it's important to know difference of opinion. It's a difference of opinion on this matter.
So there is a macro opinion.
Yeah, Maliki Mazhab. Maliki Mazhab, Maliki Mazhab. There's a Maliki Mazhab is disliked, but it's not haram. The Shafi'i Mazhab also, that this difference of opinion also between haram and makruh. Some ulama will say makruh, some will say haram. Right? There's opinion as well. Right? So and again, like for example, my mother when she was in the hospital, right? There is also an opinion that to remove najasa from the sick is sunnah, not wajib. Right? From the sick, to remove najasa. And Shafi'i Mazhab, right? To remove najasa from the sick is sunnah, not wajib. To pray. Right? So if let's say an elderly person wearing diapers, for example, to change a diaper every single time is very hard. And I remember my mother, she was so disgusted that they had to use the wet wipes, she hated it. My mother, right? And I still took wudu for her, for her to wudu and everything and all that, right? But and I was still thinking the whole time, this is all harmatul waqt. But there is an opinion, right, that says that, sah, pray with najasa. Pray with najis. It's sunnah to remove najasa for the sick. You must take wudu still. It's about istinja. So you istinja as much as you can, right? You can wipe her and everything. But of course, using wet wipes and everything, it's not clean. The istinja is not sah. There's still najasa, right? But you still do wudu for them, and you talqin them in the salat. Pray. Right, pray. That's why to learn all these things before you reach that situation is important, right? So that you know that, when someone says to you, you gotta pray. So my mother and she knew she had to pray, right? So, but if someone is not educated, you say to them, you must pray, and they say, no lah, I'm too sick. So a lot of elderly actually give up, and they don't want to pray. But if you know all this, khilafat, difference of opinion, it's very easy. It gets in very easy. And actually I was mentioning I want to do a course.
Yes.
I got 2 more weeks.
Online also true.
Yeah.
I have to do it. I know I have to do it. I know I have to do this course on looking after the elderly and knowing the khilafat. And knowing the khilafat, and also, like if they miss out on their prayers and they pass away, right? Having missed prayers, they pass away, having missed, what can you do? How can you help, right? Them in this way, right? So I have 2 more weeks. So the Fatima bin Sumit is taking up to Wednesday. And then I have to prepare for this next weekend's Maulids. And so the Khadija Majlis. And I leave next Thursday. And I have family that I must visit
After you go.
after I go back. I have school. I have 1 week. I have 1 week actually before school starts. I do have 1 week before school starts. My school starts 7 Rabiul Awal. But I'm going back early because my visa ends 25th August. So I have to be back by 25th August. But I will figure out something. I know it's important lah. And I do also want to gather when it comes to this kind of like situations of sick people, right? Looking after the elderly and the sick, you must know difference of opinion. You must know the khilafat. Because ikhtilaf bain al-ulama rahmah. The difference of opinion between the scholars is a mercy. You must know. So you can at least convince people that no, you can still pray. Boleh sah. And in fact, there is a khilaf there is an opinion that says that hormatul waqt sah. They have to qada. But you don't say this to normal people. For somebody who's doing hormatul waqt because of school, or travel or whatever, right? No, you still have to qada. You have to qada, right? But someone who's sick, and which gave me a lot of comfort. Because I knew a lot of my mom's prayers were all hormatul waqt because she had drip, she had stickers everywhere, the scotch tape, all that. Wudu tak sah, tayammum tak sah, right? So I knew a lot of her prayers were hormatul waqt, right? And she kept saying to me when I go back to Windy Heights, I'll qada everything. When I go back to Windy Heights, I'll qada everything. She kept saying that. So niyat also covered. Her niyat covered. Right? Because she said it out to me. When I go back to Windy Heights, I'll qada everything. I'll qada everything, she said to me. So it's that dalat is a testimony. She was gonna qada, she had the full niyat to qada, but she only went back to Windy Heights dead, passed away. Right? No, mashallah. But then I found the opinion. I was searching because it bothered me so much, about all of these things lah. And I found a lot of opinions. I found a lot of ikhtilafat around the matter. And that hormatul waqt is sah in some madhabs. That is counted as the prayer was performed. The prayer was performed. Yes, I actually had a list of things that I did to calm myself down in regards to my mom's prayers. Because I was so, the first 3 days after her death, I couldn't sleep. I was so worried about her salat. Because I knew that she had prayed, not fulfilling the full conditions, but she was sick. She was sick. And I also knew that when she was on chemo, there were times whereby her mind, she could not keep herself conscious. She kept passing out. She kept going into unconsciousness because of the chemo. So she had missed the prayers whereby she was unconscious. She had missed it. So when she became conscious, I told her, Ma, you missed Maghrib, Isha, and Subuh. Because she passed out, before Maghrib, and she only came to at Zuhur. She couldn't keep herself awake. The second day chemo was so bad. The Thursday, so bad, the chemo. So she could not pray Maghrib, Isha, and Subuh. Missed everything. Right? I said to her, Ma, your Maghrib, Isha, Subuh, you didn't get because you were passed out. Then she said, I go back when the house, I will do it. I said, I go back to the house, I will do it. Because now pun hormatul waqt. Kan, if I qada sekarang pun, I have to qada again. Makes no difference. So when I go back to the house, I will do it. She kept saying that. Right? So like for me, like when she passed away, I said to myself, to calm myself down lah. And I said to myself, first thing first, she never missed her prayers. So my husnuzan billahi ta'ala is that Allah will not hold her to account. Right? That she has, in her life, she's never missed her prayers. And she was very particular about prayers. That's the first thing. Right? And also in her life, she was so particular about najasa and tahara and everything. So towards the end of life, if she fell short in all of these things, Allah is Ar-Rahman Ar-Rahim. Allah is most merciful. Secondly was that she Allahumma Sayyidina Muhammad, had the full intention, full niyat to qada. Counted. Dah counted dah. Third thing, I had to really calm myself down on this matter. Third thing was that this is what knowledge does to you. It gives you clarity. And third thing was that there's an opinion, the hormatul waqt sah. The opinion, can. There's also an opinion, there are 2 more opinions that I took also. But not to apply it unless you're in this kind of situation lah, whereby someone dies before they could do a qada of their prayers. Fourth opinion was that that you can actually, the inheritors can qada on their behalf. So I tested my siblings. I said, Ma was in the hospital for 14 days. Right, her prayers were, they were on except for the chemo only. But they were deficient lah, because of the drip. The drip made the wudu and the tayammum deficient. The drip. Right. So I said to them, Ma had 14 days in the hospital. Right. I said that I want to qada all of Ma's prayers. So between us 7, we distributed. So each person took 2 days worth of prayers. And split qada for her, 10 salats. Easy, it was only 1 day. It was only 1 day. Then right. And there's another opinion that goes that you can pay fidya on every salat. So 1 mud per salat. So this is knowing opinions, but not to use it, not to abuse it. So don't be like someone who's still alive saying, later on, you all pay for me, you all pay for me on my fidya. No. She tried her very best. She tried her very best. And I tried my very best in serving her. And we paid. I took Asim, my brother, go and buy a fidya. Buy a fidya. We counted 14 days times 5. Right. Fidya is one mood. There are conditions around this. There are conditions around when you can do this. And the question around when you can do this, inshallah, if I do have a time, I will do a course on this to help people look after the sick. But it's really an institution whereby right now my mom, she really wanted to do a qada. She passed away before she could do qada. That kind of situation. She had full intention to qada all her salat. And she prayed as well. She did pray. But it was all deficient. So of course with knowledge, it just gave me a peace of mind. I mean, I'm sure Allah forgave her and Allah raised her station and she's mashallah tabarakallah, of the salihin. But it's just for my sanity. Me. Like my sanity. That I don't go into a self-blame or a self, guilt or whatsoever. So with knowledge, that okay, I understand. I mean, billahi ta'ala. And you did, I took all doors. I covered all doors to ensure. I mean, we did the qada and the fidya. We did both. Right? And even if it's not counted, at least you just did something. And Allah knows you tried. Right? Mashallah. So, because my mom also told me before that she had a friend, that she looked after her father. Her father abandoned her when she was very young. And she found her father, when she was old, and she learned about Birrul Walidain and everything. And she found her father in a home, old folks' home, abandoned. She took him in, looked after her father. Till the father passed away. The father never prayed. This wasn't some woman who prayed. And this woman, she was just so bothered. She spent her life doing qada for her father. So Allah Alam whether Allah accepts or not. But to her, I do what I can. Whether it's accepted, I don't, Allah will handle. I will do whatever I can for my father. My mom told me before, her friend, she qada her entire life, she was doing qada for her father, who never prayed. The father was really not a practicing Muslim. MashaAllah, I mean, it's a Allah one day or judgment. If Allah wants to accept, He accepts. But it's not for a person to say, okay, I don't want to pray, then my kids will handle it. No. And then Allah knows, your issue. Allah. Okay, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala grant us understanding and wisdom, inshallah. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us ability to look after the sick and the elderly. And may Allah subhanahu give us closeness to the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. For tomorrow's majlis at Al-Junaid, Madrasah Al-Junaid, Ustazah Fatimah bin Sumit said that to prepare a gift for Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam of salawats. So don't go to people's house empty-handed. Okay? You want to go to the house of Rasulullah, go to the house of Fatimah Zahra, you don't come with empty hands. Okay? Come with gifts. Go to people's house, you must come bring gifts, kan? So say do hundreds or thousands of salawats tonight and prepare yourself tomorrow to come to the house of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And so those of you who intend to come tomorrow, you can't just appear. You must register. Okay, it's a paid event. You can just appear. Okay, you must register. So I posted it on the announcements group. You can go and apply. And sekali they organized that full house today. MashaAllah. And I hope it's going to be a full house because today I felt so sad that it was half the auditorium. Towards the end, it was more and more people. But so many gems. I felt so sad in my heart that people should come on National Day. National Day next to Rasulullah. Who cares about National Day? Right? I mean, seriously. My family never, go. Rasulullah, go together as a family. Right? Subhanakallahumma bihamdika ashhadu an la ilaha illa anta astaghfiruka wa atubu ilayk. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim wal 'asr. Subhanakallahumma wa bihamdika asyhadu an la ilaha illa anta astaghfiruka wa atubu ilaik. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.